we're going to inspect it. There's going to be spot inspections. The UN can go in there anytime. So we're going to keep an eye on them, which, again, that was the Obama deal. And in exchange, we're going to unfreeze billions and billions of dollars of assets. Again, that was the Obama deal. And so that is the,
and you know what? With his base, he's going to be able, I've said it in previous videos, he's going to be able to get away with this because his base, for one, is not going to know, right? The people that just follow the current, you know, talking points of the current present day are not going to care about that. And the spin and the manipulation is going to be that it's so much better than the Obama deal, right? He had to get rid of Obama's deal because it had Obama's name tied to it. And this new deal is going to be Trump's deal. He's probably going to tie his name to it. And yeah, the only real thing that people are going to care about is like, it's not the Obama deal. You know what I'm saying? It's so stupid. Even if his deal is worse than the JCPOA, he will just market it as it being better than the Obama's deal, and people will accept that narrative, period. You know what I'm saying? It just goes to show you, like, just like, you know, Obamacare as opposed to Affordable Care Act. Like, this is the nature of our society, and it goes to our fucking terrible education, our poor education system, and the fact that all of these people on both sides of the aisle who are poorly educated are so easily manipulated into, you know, just following along with the party lines. And yeah, unfortunately, he's going to end up with a worse deal. And all of this is a self-inflicted wound. All of it is a self-inflicted wound. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Trey.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Back at it with another video.
Another one.
First and foremost, thanks to everybody that's been subscribing to the channel, liking the videos, sharing, commenting in the comment section. Obviously, I'm a new YouTuber, and it really means a lot to push the videos and help me continue to grow. For all of y'all that are first timers, go ahead, take a second, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, make sure y'all leave a comment, no matter if it's just a smiley face, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever the case may be. Just, you know, it really helps the algorithm push the video to more people. That being said, today we're going to be reacting to a video from Pod Save America. It's just going to be a short piece of the whole pod, but in this one, they are talking about, you know, in best case scenario, right? We're obviously negotiating terms on how to end the Iran war or conflict or whatever you are calling it.
What do you mean by that?
But in order to end the Iran war, so best case scenario, what that would look like. And that's what they are getting into. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
It's about to go down.
okay. We are recording this on Thursday afternoon. And as of right now, the U.S. and Iran are still discussing a one-page memo that would reopen the Strait of Hormuz, pause the war that's already supposed to be paused, but really isn't, for another 30 days, during which time the two countries would try to reach a permanent deal where Iran gets billions of dollars in unfrozen assets if they pinky promise not to build a nuclear weapon and commit to an inspection regime that sounds a lot like Obama's Iran deal that Donald Trump pulled out of. The background music for these negotiations is Iranian boats firing on U.S. Navy ships in the U.S., carrying out new strikes on an Iranian oil port. It's unclear. It's a little fog of war going on, but as we're recording, there's sort of explosions everywhere. There's reports of explosions in Tehran as well, so who the fuck knows what's going on? Trump officials say this doesn't count as restarting the war, but they also might restart the war, just like they also might restart Project Free.
And the main reason why they're saying it doesn't count as restarting the war, and that they came out with another title for an operation, you know, when they were supposed to be not negotiating or chaperoning, but providing escort for people to get through the Strait, is because we've already passed the, you know, the deadline, so to speak, of them being able to conduct a war without the approval of Congress. And so, this is all ways for them to get by it legally by using some loopholes in order to determine, well, technically we haven't been at war for the full duration, so we still have more time. And we've started this other operation, which is not the same as the original operation. So just more bullshit to, push the agenda. Our government, our system is so fucked. If we don't make major changes in the next presidency, we're not serious about trying to fix anything.
Freedom, which is Trump's half-assed plan to guide traffic through the Strait, which was canceled earlier in the week after an incredible one-day run. Project Freedom.
Not even a full day. They didn't
Not
make it
even
24
a full
hours.
day. I know, I was being generous.
It's like banker's hours.
Oh, just to be clear, they lost the actual footage. It comes back in a little bit, but that's the reason why he's freeze framed.
Meanwhile, the CIA reportedly believes that Iran still has 70% of its ballistic missiles, 75% of its missile launchers, and can withstand the U.S. naval blockade for, quote, at least 3 to 4 more months. That is according to the Washington Post. What do you think, Dan? Is Trump still holding all the cards?
It's hard to fathom a bigger clusterfuck than this. Like, it's just such a shit show. It was such a bad idea, obviously. It's been so poorly executed since then. It's so chaotic that at the same time that I was reading the New York Times story today on the one-page memo, and everyone's very specific that it's one page.
14 points on one page. I guess small.
We don't even know
margins.
What.
You got to put the margins over it. You got a 0.5 margin. Maybe you got a.
What's the
0.25.
font size? Are we 14? Yeah, we don't know.
Got to be. If we're fitting 14 points on a one pager, it's a lot.
I mean, but what are those 14 points? So it's one page. I'm reading that. I get a news alert on my phone that the United States has struck Iranian oil ports. Like, what is happening? And then we're firing missiles back and forth. They've attacked U.S. ships, apparently, we think, at this point. The American ships had to retreat because they were damaged, we think, at this point. But do not worry. The peace negotiations are still headed to.
And the fact that he has to say we think at this point just goes to show you, at the end of the day, we are not getting the full account of how the war is going, what damage has been done, and that's been the nature of, Pete Hegseth was kind of putting this in place when he started restricting access in the Pentagon and things of that nature. So yeah, we're not getting an accurate assessment of how the war is going, accurate reporting of what is actually happened, who's attacking who, how many lives have been lost, how many people have been injured, the damage that we've taken. They were talking about Google imagery of the area, not being able to pull, so. Yeah, having to say during the course of a war, we think, we're not getting accurate information to that point is, again, another reason why, I don't understand how you support the current administration. Even if you're in support of the administration, don't you want them to tell you the truth?
Down the path, and they're still circling around this one-page memo, and a ceasefire could begin any minute, or I guess a peace deal could begin any minute, which is what they've been saying for a month now.
So just as a thought exercise, I'm going to be generous again here. Let's imagine that the negotiations, sort of the latest round of firing and attacks, that dies down, negotiations resume, they get a deal, and then 30 days from now, they reach a more permanent deal, and it's the best deal possible for the United States.
Which is the Obama deal, which is basically an approximation of the Obama deal. Yes.
Yeah, what that would do is basically you'd ship out all the uranium, the enriched uranium from Iran. Some reports said possibly to the United States. So you'd ship out all the uranium. Now, they didn't have any uranium when Donald Trump came into office because of the Iran nuclear deal, but they did produce a lot more enriched uranium. They did enrich a lot more uranium in the years between Trump pulling out of the Iran deal and Trump deciding to attack them. But anyway, so you get rid of all the uranium, and then you have new limits on uranium enrichment and the nuclear program. And some of the hawks might argue maybe they're a little more stringent, but the same kind of inspections regime, maybe a little bit more enhanced. But again, it is The whole deal is we're going to inspect it. There's going to be spot inspections. The UN can go in there anytime. So we're going to keep an eye on them, which, again, that was the Obama deal. And in exchange, we're going to unfreeze billions and billions of dollars of assets. Again, that was the Obama deal. And so that is the.
And you know what? With his base, he's going to be able, I've said it in previous videos, he's going to be able to get away with this because his base, for one, is not going to know, right? The people that just follow the current, you know, talking points of the current present day are not going to care about that. And the spin and the manipulation is going to be that it's so much better than the Obama deal, right? He had to get rid of Obama's deal because it had Obama's name tied to it. And this new deal is going to be Trump's deal. He's probably going to tie his name to it. And yeah, the only real thing that people are going to care about is like, it's not the Obama deal. You know what I'm saying? It's so stupid. Even if his deal is worse than the JCPOA, he will just market it as it being better than the Obama's deal, and people will accept that narrative, period. You know what I'm saying? It just goes to show you, like, just like, you know, Obamacare as opposed to Affordable Care Act. Like, this is the nature of our society, and it goes to our fucking terrible education, our poor education system, and the fact that all of these people on both sides of the aisle who are poorly educated are so easily manipulated into, you know, just following along with the party lines. And yeah, unfortunately, he's going to end up with a worse deal. And all of this is a self-inflicted wound. All of it is a self-inflicted wound.
Best case scenario. In that scenario, what did it cost us? Well, it cost us 14 American lives, hundreds of now thousands of lives in Iran, in Lebanon, across the Gulf. It cost us God knows how much money, both in
at least $25 billion.
I was going to say, both in the direct money we spent on the war and the harm to the global economy and to the U.S. economy and higher energy prices. We also spent, like, we're talking about Iran having 70% of its ballistic missiles, 75% of its missile launchers. What kind of weapons do we have? How many weapons, how many missiles did we launch now over this war for absolutely fucking nothing?
How much is it going to cost to replace them?
Our global standing in the world, our allies trust in us. I don't know. I could go.
Yeah, we shit on our allies for this at every point that we could. We continue to. And at the end of the day, even if whatever this deal is going to be, now that Iran knows that they can hold the Strait hostage, that affects how our allies have to deal with the Strait of Hormuz now. Whether it's going to cause them increase economic strain as far as like having to pay tolls or whatever the case may be, that still hasn't been ironed out. But it's coming.
You are really dumb.
Go on and on and on, but it doesn't seem like we would have gotten much from this best case scenario.
And even under your best case scenario, which was very generous of you, and your generosity is appreciated at the highest levels of the White House, I'm sure, the likelihood that the Iranian people rise up against the regime for a more pro-American democratic version of Iran is much less likely than it was before this, because, I don't know, we started blowing up their country and bombing girls' schools. So that seems unlikely. And let's say we did
kill an 86-year-old.
Yeah, when we started this, it was supposed to be for the people of Iran to give them their country back. That's what we started this war saying. We've obviously moved on to the fact that Iran can't be allowed to have a nuclear weapon, but I thought we obliterated their nuclear capability last year. But whatever, we'll just follow the talking points that they currently use. Again, do you think that the Iranian people are more in support of America, the American regime, like, than they were previously? You make your own answer,
Apologize to that man. Apologize. Hey, listen, I owe you. It's just that you was disrespect. But that don't even give me the right though. Don't. Excuse me. Woosah, motherfucker.
And,
did, yes.
and a bunch of his top goons. So
And that is
give him
maybe
that
world
too.
of. Well, I feel safer already.
Right, because clearly that has decapitated the regime, and they haven't been able to do anything since then. Oh wait.
Yes. And then, but even before we get to your future approximation of the Obama-Iran deal, let's just say we agree on the 14 points. We get that done, and the Strait opens. Even if you open the Strait today, the United States government estimates it'll take 6 months to clear it of mines. The impact on oil prices around the world and gas prices in the United States will remain for 6 months to a year at least. The economic damage will not be undone. The tail effect of all of this on food prices because of fertilizer, on the supply chain, will continue for a long period of time. And so this is not like you solve this problem, because Trump is trying to solve this problem because the midterms are coming. The political problems that come from the damage to the economy are not going away anytime soon. And for the American people who are struggling, which is the more important issue here, relief is not coming when the 14-point one-page memo is agreed to.
Yeah. And then what do you think is going to happen when, if the memo is agreed to and Trump announces that he should get the peace prize again and everything, and then gas prices continue to drift up?
And what do you think, honestly think, gas prices, I believe, will, however long it takes, they will eventually come back down, right? That will be something that happens. But, fertilizer, is that price, how much is it going to come down? Once these companies that have to increase prices to cover their costs, realize that they can and have increased those prices, it may decrease a little bit, but it's not going to be the old price. Yesterday's price is not going to be tomorrow's price. Once that price raises, it's up for a minute. It might go down a little bit, but hey, that price is up now. And who do we have to blame? Whose fault is that?
From now until November, you think people are going to be, you think that people are upset now? Just wait till October rolls around and the war has been in the rearview mirror for a couple months. And people are like, what the fuck? Why am I still paying $5 gas, $4 gas? Speaking of which, oil futures have been on a real ride, thanks to all the dueling scoops and siren emojis. But gas prices, which are a little more stable, we're at a nationwide average of $4.55 a gallon, 10 cents higher than Monday. And the Trump White House is, of course, working overtime to make sure people know and understand that they feel their pain. Let's listen.
Credit card spending is through the roof. They're spending more on gasoline, but they're spending more on everything else, too.
We want to encourage all Americans to take a road trip, whether you're going to go 2 hours or 2 days.
I thought oil prices would go to $200, $250. It's at $100 now. But even if it went to $200, it would have been worth it, I understand.
Just an incredible showing from all three of those gentlemen. But I do have to say, Kevin has it yeah, no, it's true. People are maxing out their credit cards because of high gas prices. But in fairness, everything else is fucking expensive too. Do you think it's possible that Kevin Hassett is secretly working for the Democrats? Do we have a plant in there?
We would never hire someone that stupid.
Is this what Ken Martin has been spending all the money on?
Yeah. I think it is more likely that, I guess there's two options when it comes to Hassett. One is he's the dumbest economist alive. And the other one is that earlier this year, he placed a massive bet on Kalshi on Democrats taking the House. Because he's doing everything possible. He is just
or maybe rake after another.
He just wants to be in as many campaign. Maybe he has a bet with this young about how many Democratic campaign ads can he be in. Because every time he goes on TV, he's trying to be in another one.
Maybe it's a bet with Scott Bessent, because every time Bessent opens his mouth, it's almost as bad. I think Bessent's in the lead right now, but
Bessent gives Kevin Hassett.
Yeah, I always ask people do you all feel even gas prices aside, and I know that's something that you can't ignore, right? Since Trump became president, have all the because he promised Affordability was something that he ran on, right? The price of groceries and things like that. Eggs was a big deal. Granted, it was a big deal at the time. Do you feel better? Do you feel better? Are prices down for you? Do you feel like the prices have come down? Like, obviously gas is up, so you can't say that, but inflation is up. Inflation is up. And y'all can't keep blaming Biden for the state of inflation today. You can't. You can't. We're a year and a half in. Come on. Y'all got to face the music, and y'all got to hold him. Y'all don't have to admit you were wrong to me, but y'all should be fucking voicing your disapproval to your representatives, with the president. Like, your vote, right? Your vote caused this, and you should be upset with what it has done to your current financial situation. Yeah, you don't have to admit it to me, but you should be mad. I don't understand how y'all can act like y'all are happy and that nothing's wrong at all, that everything's just fine.
Gives off doofus vibes, while Bessent gives off the vibes of someone who would use his private equity fund to buy your house and evict you.
Yeah. Bessent gives off the vibe of someone who's like never gone to a grocery store or gone to a gas station and filled up his own tank of gas.
I mean, which is a terrible thing to say about a soybean farmer, but yes. There is a bigger issue here, I think, beyond just the incompetence of these individual spokespeople. Is they are like, this is the trap Trump has set for himself, which is you cannot admit that things are bad, because to admit things are bad is to admit that Trump failed, and you can never admit that Trump is fallible. And so, since you can't admit things are bad, you can't lay out your plan to make them better. So instead, you just have to walk around every single day and stick your thumb in the eye of every swing voter and seem just radically out of touch with reality. It's just like, this is what.
Look, there is no plan on how to make it better. Look at what Congress has been doing and the Senate have been doing. They pushed one bill. They've spent most of their time trying to recess and all that stuff to prevent the Epstein files from coming out, and dealing with shutdowns and all that stuff, refusing to come to terms and compromises and all that. There's no plan. There's a whole bunch of executive orders that just fuck things up. Like, just completely just rip up the Constitution, diplomacy, like, you name it. Just executive orders to just make life miserable for so many people, get a whole bunch of people fired, erase our history, like, just no plan. It's really fascism, like, and it's not hypothetical anymore. It's true. All branches of government are not equal. There's no checks and balances. Like, it's just Republicans trying to do all the worst things possible to completely dismantle our democracy. And I'm sorry, I'm done trying to both sides of it all, because this is just crazy. Man, you can't force me to be crazy along with you.
Why the affordability to all of that was doomed to fail, because they are incapable of offering a message, because they're incapable of acknowledging the reality that American people feel every single day.
I would say that's all true, but they are doing an extra special good job of poking the American people in the eye on this, because like, you think about the Biden administration, and we criticized them at the time when they would go around being like, people say they're hurting, but like, you're looking at gas prices in an expensive neighborhood, and actually listen to the inflation rating. It's actually good. And all of their comments, while they weren't really effective at making people believe something different than their eyes were telling them, they were at least geared towards trying to tell people that things were getting better. And
that's being overly generous.
I know. I'm feeling very generous.
Yeah.
Today.
What is going on with you today?
But again, like, I can't imagine if like Ron Klain, or I can't even remember who like Jared Bernstein, were out there being like, yes, it's true. It's true. People are spending a lot of money and maxing out their credit cards on gas, but also everything's expensive.
Yeah. I mean, like, in fairness to like the individual spokespeople would do a better job than Biden himself, who would be like, the lowest unemployment rate in history.
Yeah, they did have that thing where they were like, everyone's turkeys are 5 cents cheaper this Thanksgiving. Where things are getting better. It's just, you look, everyone, if you're ever in the White House, if you're ever on a Democratic campaign, you ever get to the White House and the economy's a little rocky, don't do that. Just don't do that. If people are upset, people are going to be upset. Just tell them you're going to fight harder. That's it. That's all you got to do.
So we'll end it there. And, you know, obviously I spoke a lot during the video on my thoughts. And yeah, it's clear as day. Like, I'm upset and I disagree with a lot that's going on with the current administration. But obviously, you know, y'all let me know in the comments how you feel, how y'all think things are going. Do y'all think things are fine as far as like them potentially getting into a worser version of the JCPOA? And then, you know, to talk about the state of the economy, right? Like, do y'all feel fine? Pocketbook's good. Everything's checking out just the way it was a couple years ago, a year ago, what have you. But yeah, make sure if y'all learned something from the video, y'all share the video with your people. Keep the information flowing. Keep the conversation going. And until next time, I'll holla.
Wanna be my enemy? I pop out, they go wild, so celebrity. Too busy winning, I forgot that I got